In this video, we'll be talking about custom apps for the T6 Auxiliary Inverter. In previous video, we've talked about what apps are, as well as apps developed by KEB, such as the torque speed control app and the process data gateway app. Custom apps are advanced software solutions designed to implement application-specific solutions. These can be developed by third-party OEMs, and they can either be distributed and licensed for other third parties, or they can be used internally. The T6 Auxiliary Inverter can be broken up into two distinct sections. One section is the inverter control modules, which are designed to drive the AC motors, and then over here is the onboard embedded control unit. This embedded control unit serves several purposes, and here we'll focus on the PLC-like functionality. Custom apps are software solutions that can be used to actually gather information that's not native to the inverter. Using this development environment, custom logic-based control solutions can be developed. We can actually take in data that's external to the inverter, such as external sensors or set points, and bring those internally to the onboard embedded control unit. Here we can run internal programs that use this data and then apply it to the actual inverter modules to run the AC motors. The embedded control can be programmed in a code assist-based development environment. This way it can be programmed using familiar graphics-based programming languages as well as text-based. Code assist is a widely used development environment for programming embedded controls and PLCs. It's widely used and well understood by most controls engineers. Once the custom app is developed, it'll go directly into the KEB app pool. From the app pool, different apps can be selected and applied to different inverter modules based on the application. So for our custom application, we would select whatever the app is and apply that to whatever inverter module needs to be controlled with the custom app. A simple example of a custom app would be just a simple control loop. Here, let's take an HVAC compressor, for example. Typically, how the HVAC compressor would be run is just directly setting your RPM commands and running that to whatever the RPM is needed. But instead, what could be done with a custom app is you would take in direct temperature set points, and then internal logic would be ran to convert those temperature set points into RPM commands. Here, the internal control loop can manage how the inverter is ran just based on an external temperature command. This functionality is often implemented with an external controller, but with the T6, that functionality can be brought on board and run internally. Now let's look at a more advanced on-demand power steering pump example. Typically how a power steering pump is ran is just a single constant RPM command is given to the motor. This is usually oversized so that the power steering pump always has as much power as it needs based on a worst case scenario. But we can optimize this. So to take an example, you're driving down the road and you need to merge into the left lane. At highway speeds, you don't need as much assistance from the power steering pump. And take for example, you're at low speeds in a parking lot, you're steering a lot harder and you're doing a lot more maneuvering, so you're going to need a lot more assistance from the power steering pump. We could actually make an on-demand power steering pump solution with the T6's embedded control. Here we can take in external sensor data, such as the vehicle speed, as well as the steering angle sensor. We can run some internal logic control and generate exactly as much flow as we need based on the application. So if you're at low speeds and you need to maneuver, the AC motor will run faster, and if you're at highway speeds, the motor will run slower. The main benefits of doing this is we can both drastically reduce energy consumption as well as noise. In addition to these applications, there's also modular functionality that can be added. This can be anything from operating modes to startup routines to different communications protocols. This solution is an example of the flexibility of the KEB T6 Auxiliary Inverter. Custom apps can be used to configure the T6 based on application needs, and in the context of electric vehicle applications, this means a more advanced and integrated solution. If you'd like to hear more, contact a KEB applications engineer.